Welcome back. Well, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese will be heading home from China today, wrapping up what the coalition has called a 6-day holiday. We'll let you be the judge.
To meet Funi.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh,
Yes.
we're very
I
excited.
met Funi in Adelaide. I helped to feed.
Australia.
Walking on history. Anyone happen to be a celebrant here?
Looks like he's having a grand old time. Joining us to discuss today's headlines is Independent MP Dai Le in the studio. Good to see you, Dai, and ALP President Wayne Swan. So, Wayne, is the PM appealing to Chinese tourists as he says he is, or is he actually part of a China tourism campaign himself?
Well, I think he's done a great job appealing to the Chinese, or talking to the Chinese about tourism. I was just up in Cairns yesterday. If they had the Chinese tourism that we had 3 or 4 years ago, then they would be much more successful in North Queensland. So China's very important to Australia. It's our #1 trading partner, and it is really important for the Prime Minister to go there and establish the links between our peoples. This relationship was in the deep freeze under the coalition. It's now a much more open relationship, and what it means is jobs, jobs and jobs.
When asked about the Great Wall and all the panda action, the PM said, and I quote, showing a little bit of respect to people never costs anything, but you know what it does? It gives you a reward, end quote. So, Dai, he says it never costs anything, but it's going to cost the taxpayer, obviously, these 6 days. And there's also the criticism that it's actually cost us on the defence and security interests that we have as a country.
Look, I think, of course, we do have to build a trusting relationship with China, but we also have to ensure that our security and that diplomatic relationship has to be really, we have to draw our borders, right? Have that sovereignty and ensure that we're just not going to be taken for granted, and that we're already having a lot of products from China. Everything is coming from China here. So we need to ensure that we stand our ground, so to speak, and
Do you think that we are standing our ground? Do you think President Xi respects Anthony Albanese or respects Australia more broadly?
Well, I would hope so, Sarah. And I would hope that we do have some sort of authority to say that we are Australians.
You don't sound confident, though.
Well, I hope so, because, at the end of the day, Australia, in terms of the population, we are quite small. And whether or not China takes it seriously as a trading partner, we do trade a lot, but whether or not we have more of an upper hand.
Yeah. OK, well, let's move on. And in a shock to the markets and the RBA, Australia's recorded its highest unemployment rate since November 2021. Wayne, did the RBA make the wrong call last week by not dropping rates?
Well, the first point to note is that unemployment is still low, so we should all be very proud that through this period of inflationary spiral, that we've been able to maintain full employment whilst getting inflation down. So that's a fantastic achievement. The Reserve Bank recognised in their decision last week that it was an unbalanced decision, and I would hope to see that before long we see rates come down further. But we shouldn't underestimate the importance to the nation of having a relatively low level of unemployment for a long period of time in difficult conditions. It's something we should all be really proud of, actually.
Well, the RBA wasn't convinced that the government's done enough, though.
Well, I think the inflation challenge has been a big one, but the government has been getting inflation down, working with the Reserve Bank and keeping unemployment low. We've never been able to do that before in our history, not for decades. So it's a spectacular achievement. There will be a debate about the speed of bringing rates down, and the RBA recognised that in its last decision, and I'd hope to see them come down at their next meeting.
Things are still expensive though, Sarah, obviously, and we know energy is still critical to our business, to our livelihood, and it's still a major issue, I think, that the government still hasn't addressed. Cost of living, cost of supply chain, everything is still very expensive for small business and for families. So I don't know, Wayne, I just think that there is a big issue at hand for the government, and with unemployment going up, that means that, our employment rate, people are still out of jobs, and so manufacturing, small business are the backbone of our economy, of our country, and what will the government do to actually encourage small business to continue to employ and also manufacturing to continue to manufacture here in Australia?
You're back in Parliament next week, so you can press them on that. Hey,
oh, I will be.
Finally back to work. Well, hopefully it means that there will be a rate cut come August, right?
Well, we'll see. We'll hope.
All right, well, this morning we have been talking about the generational debate, which is the stare, the internet calling out Gen Z for greeting people with a blank look, dead eyes and complete silence. I feel like I've been on the receiving end of this, Wayne, actually from you, and you're not even Gen Z. Give us your best Gen Z stare. Oh, I like yours, Dai. You've nailed
It's not
that.
just Gen Z.
No, it certainly isn't. I think, Carl, what do you reckon? I reckon Dai wins. Look at her deadpan.
Oh, yeah.
That's something
I'm happy to let her win.
behold. That's something to behold. Very good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks
so
for letting
much.
me win, Wayne.
You won fair and square.
I
Thanks
did.
for joining us this morning. Have a great weekend. The Today team is standing by with your news headlines.